Okay, awesome, awesome. Maybe you can tell us what you have learned new this week. Yeah.
Well, every day we learn new things. So this week I learned a lot, trying to better myself on the coding part of the smart contract, using the Solidity language, and working more with Remix ID of Ethereum. So that's what I've practically been doing this week so far.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. Let's hear from Idam. Yeah.
Hey, hi everyone. I'm from India. My name is Iram. I'm postgraduate in computer science. I'm really excited to see how blockchain is working and ready to learn for that.
Okay. So what new thing have you learned on blockchain or on Zero blockchain? Yeah.
I didn't know about what is decentralized, centralized, and distributed, and how it is works, and different types of there, and hybrid or other type, and the how it works. That's so good to learn for that. So it's great.
Awesome. 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 And now let's hear from Martin. Yeah, Martin.
Hello, my name is Martin Machua. I'm a software developer, and also I've been trying to do blockchain for a few times here and there. And what I've learned this week is types of blockchain. I've learned there are around 4. I never knew about that. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Let's hear from Pratu. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Pratiksha. I'm from India and I'm a commerce graduate, but I also know coding and I have knowledge about it. So, blockchain was a new concept for me, but now here they taught me really good and I didn't know much about it. So, in previous session, I learned types of the blockchains and all those things that I didn't know.
Awesome. Awesome. Looking forward to actually, yeah. So let's hear from Wangari. Yeah, Wangari. Yeah.
I'm Wangari. I'm from Kenya. I'm a student. I have not yet started research on blockchain, but that is what I am currently working on.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. At least we got to learn a lot of stuff on the last session we had. So today today is our second session. And yeah, so we normally have for those guys who were not with us last time, we did a bit of like a housekeeping rules, and that is by the end of month 1, you will have a medium blog about what you have learned, and also the classes are three. We have 3 classes for 3 days. That is on Monday, Tuesday, not Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Yeah. So we started the first module on Monday. We did an introduction, and for those guys who are in Kenya, there is a possibility that we will be having an in-person sessions after 2 weeks. That is something which is on the planning. And yeah, then as part of the growth, and also introduction, all kind of creating a connection with you with people who are creating on blockchain, we will be having guest lectures from different people from different organizations here in Kenya, and also outside Kenya, of people who are building on Zero and people who are building on blockchain. Yeah, so that is what is it in the course. And yeah, so looking forward to having a lot of fun in this class, because blockchain is fun. Yeah, you learn and you also make money as you learn new technology, and you get incentivized for learning. Yeah, so there are some few links that I did send on the group. That is on Figment. That is on Figment, so you can complete a few tutorials. Let me share with you the. Let me share the Figment IO. Before we dive into today's lesson, let me show you some few links that you can actually share. So I hope you can see my browser. Hello. Yeah, so this is figment.io. You can learn from figment.io and you get incentivized, and yeah, by completing tutorials. So having a bit of make sure that you visit those links. So they have a lot of learning materials. They do have a lot of learning materials. They have Zero. You can see they have Zero, Avalanche, Ceramic, Cosmos, Ethereum, Nia, Oasis, and Polkadot. So for these sessions, you can just select Zero and do the Zero run pathway. They call them pathways. So from these pathways, you can do like an introduction to 0101, get the balance, get to connect to a smart contract. Yeah, get to deploy a smart contract, but we will be able to do all of this. So if you are already familiar with how to set up a blockchain, how to set up an environment for learning, then you can go ahead and practice more on the Zero pathway. Yeah. So there is a lot of other courses inside there, like you can explore on proof of stake, more reading. Yeah. So that's it. These are some of the resources and URL that I did send on the group. Yeah. So let's go back to our PowerPoint. Okay. So today we will learn how blockchain works, how the block works, and yeah. So last time we can do a little bit of a recap of what we learned. So we defined what a blockchain was, and we said it's a distributed ledger. Yeah, that has duplicated not duplicate, but data distributed all over the nodes on different nodes or computers. Nodes are known as computers. Then we defined the must-know blockchain terminologies, and we also saw the differences between databases, the normal databases that we do have that works on different platforms, which has a central server, whereas on blockchain data, or the database itself is distributed. Yeah, the client database or the database is distributed to different nodes. Then we did the comparison or the differences between database and blockchain. We also looked at centralized, decentralized, and distributed systems. We also talked about properties of DLT, that it's programmable, anonymous. So on programmable, it's where the smart contracts comes in. And we also talked about the security. It's secure because of encryption and cryptography. Yeah, we talked about different types of blockchain, different types of blockchain. So we have public blockchain, we have private blockchain, and we have consortium blockchain, and we have hybrid blockchain. Yeah, so and a public blockchain, that's where Ethereum, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Solana, and Polkadot, and also Binance, they fall under the category of public blockchain. So, and then there is something that I also clarified, that blockchain is not Bitcoin. Bitcoin is cryptocurrency, and blockchain is the underlying of the backbone of blockchain, of Bitcoin, that is. So if we remove blockchain, there ceases, or there is no Bitcoin. Yes, it would be there, but it would be centralized, just like the normal fiat. Yeah, so blockchain is the underlying technology for Bitcoin. So there is a lot of application areas that you can be able to create blockchain. So we will also take a look at the use cases of blockchain and where you can be able to use blockchain, because as you can see from the types of blockchains that we have blockchains that are supporting supply chain, we have blockchain that are supporting asset ownership. Yeah, then we have consortium blockchain for government, and then we have hybrid. Yeah, so today we will look at how a blockchain work. So I'll also do a simple demo on that. Yeah, so as the word blockchain suggests, is that data is stored in blocks, interconnected together with a hash, normally known as secure hash algorithm. Yeah, so a record is made of each transaction. This record, which contains certain details of the people making the transaction. Yeah, and then each transaction is verified to ensure its validity. So before the transaction is added to a block, it has to be validated. It has to be verified that this data is authentic, that Ambrose Lilly has this amount of money. So once it has been validated, it's added to the next to the block. So once verified, each transaction is added to a block that gets hashed. So the hashing is where you add now the secure hash algorithm, or the hash digest. So you will be able to see this in a few. So once you have completed, or once complete, the block is added to the end of the blockchain. So it continues on and on, just like a normal chain, the way it's interlocked together. Yeah, just like a normal chain, how it's interconnected together with the other chains. The blockchain, it consists of information that are hashed together. They are linked together. Let me give an example of, like, a little case example of how the DNA works. So from our grandparents, we inherit some DNA, some characteristic traits or traits from our grandparent. And once we have them, we can be able to trace the origin of a particular person, whether from the mother's side or from the father's side. We inherit such features from them, and then they are passed on to us. So the same case. So the previous block inherits some information, or the hash itself of the previous block is interlocked into the new block. Yeah. So yeah, that is on how the blockchain works. Then so we talked of hash, secure hash, or having the secure hash or the hash function, which makes blockchain to be immutable. So before we continue on to the immutability, let me show you a simple demo on blockchain, on how data is added to the next block. So if you try to change the other block, it won't work. Yeah. So I hope you can see my I hope you can see my browser. Share. Yeah. So this you can visit this link. You can visit this link. Let me share it on the chat and do more and do a lot of practice. So we have the hash. We can start with the hash. Let's just start with the hash and we try to hash this data. So I'll hash the word 0. So as you can see, the data keep, it's changing as you type. So if we change the C to small c, the hash changes. So this is how data is validated, or this is how data in encryption, as we will be able to see once we start doing cryptography, is that every encryption is different from every word you encrypt when you are doing even your passwords. When you're doing your passwords, if you are coming from Web2 technologies, the hash is always different. So if we do caps, the data, the output should be different. The output should be different. If we, yeah, as you can see. So this is how data is validated on a blockchain, or how it becomes even more secure. Because if I type something which is almost similar to this, but I don't have the right hash, then it means that my data is invalid. Even a change in one letter, it changes everything. Yeah. So application areas of such the hash, sometimes it not sometimes, but it applies to a lot of application areas, especially for website certificates, such. Yeah. So once when we get to the introduction on cryptography, we will be able to see how the application areas. Now let's move on to the block before we move on to the other slides. So this is block 1. So this is block 1. It has data inside. We can add data inside, meaning that the hash will change, and then it has to be mined. So this hash has to be mined. Once you mine it, it will turn to green. It should turn to green once it has been mined. Should turn to green once it has been mined. Yeah. So you see, we have created a new block, not a new block, the same block, but a different hash with different data. Now, if we move on to the blockchain.
Excuse me, Jordan.
Yes.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay, what does the mining mean? Like the one you clicked on mine?
So mining means verifying. It's a process for verifying. It's a verification process. So most people talk of mining and such in terms of crypto trading and everything, but normally what they are meaning is that they mean that they validate transaction for a living. They validate transaction for a living. Yeah. They validate transaction for a living. That's what mining means. Yeah, so you are validating the data that has been inputted there, that it's valid data. So yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Yes.
Okay. Martin, your mic is on.
Yes, I wanted to ask, how does it validate if that data is good, yet that data has never been inputted in the first place?
So when it comes to such data, there is what we call consensus mechanism. So consensus mechanism is whereby, like for us in this class, we can come up with rules and regulations on how can we validate that somebody has quite understood what blockchain is. So we come up with a set of rules. If somebody is able to define what is blockchain, then that is a correct information. So it relies on the set of rules that are set by the community. And that's why blockchain is really good when it comes to data that is supposed to be public. Data that is supposed to be public. Let's say, for example, when something like the government does its procurement, nobody knows whether those ledgers are legit, whether the data the procurement officer will give it's a legit information. But when things goes missing, like a certain chunk of data in the accountant's book or the procurement officer's ledgers goes missing, then every person in the office or in the organization will be able to know that this chunk of data is not inside the ledger. But now for blockchain, the participants of the node, they validate and they say that Martin wants to send me like 5 Bitcoins. Does Martin have those Bitcoin? Does that data that Martin is trying to pass to me valid? Does it belong to him? Those are the rules that are set by the community. Yeah. So I hope that answers your question, or it brings up new questions.
Yes, it's very, I've understood it
Hello.
very well.
Okay, Patricia, yeah, Patricia. Yeah.
Actually, I have a very little question.
Mhm.
In the second row, it says knowns. What is meaning of that? I mean, I don't understand.
Okay. I'll explain. On the next slide, I have the what we call the block data, or the header of the blockchain is divided into 2 parts. There is the data section and there is the header section. So for this part, we have the header and we have the data part. So the nouns is the number of time a specific address has done transactions. The number of it's actually an initial of the number of something. Just a minute. Yeah, before that, there was another person who wanted to ask a question. I think it was Neva. Yeah. Hello? Neva wanted to ask a question.
Oh, hello, Jordan.
Yes.
Okay, I wanted to know. Okay, sorry for coming late, though I didn't understand the word hash. Yeah.
Okay. So the hash is an encryption. So we normally have two types of, not two, but there are a lot of, there is a lot of a hashing mechanism, and it depends with the type of application that you are building. So for blockchain, we normally use the hash function or secure hash 256 function. So secure hash 25 has other types of hashing mechanism like MD5, secure hash 1. It depends with the level of security that you want your system to have. So for secure hash 256, it's a very secure and a very strong way of securing your data, and securing your system. And that's why what blockchain, most blockchain uses. So for Patricia, nouns is a combination, it represents the occasion and purpose. Yeah, but it's an initial for number of I'll send you the meaning of nouns later, because I can't seem to remember, but it's in my notes. Yeah, so it represents the number of something. Yeah, it's a number of the number of or count of how many times have you done something. But I don't want to. Yeah, there is somebody else whose mic is on. Okay, maybe Ambrose, you are in the other class. You can remind us what nouns means.
Basically, can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, I can hear you. I don't know whether
From what you can see, a noun is the number generated when a particular block on the blockchain is mined, or there's a transaction that occur on that particular block. So that's why you can look that from block number 1 and block number 2, they are not having the same nouns. So it's the number of transactions that have taken place on that particular block that will give us the nouns in that blockchain. I hope that is clear.
Yeah. That is awesome. Yeah, but yeah. So that is what announcing is, and seem to be another question. Yeah. Also Coril is saying that yeah, this is what I was looking for. It's an abbreviation of number only used once. So in the context of cryptography, crypto mining or cryptocurrency mining is a number added to a hash. Yeah, it's a number added exactly. So this is what I was looking for, a number only used once. Yeah, thank you, Coril. Yeah. So what we will do in this all encrypted block in blockchain, that when rehashed meets the difficult level restriction. Yeah, it forms the part of the difficulty. Yeah. So there is a few projects or a few tutorials that I will do concerning on how, or regarding to how this all works. Yeah. So yeah, let's continue. I hope, is there any other person who has a question? Hello, is there any other question, or we can continue? Hello.
I have one question.
Yes.
when we use only we can use hash map techniques or other encryption methods is also possible in blockchain.
Can we come up again?
Only hash map technique is used or other encryption method is also used in blockchain.
Okay, I don't know if I get your question, but the most commonly used encryption technique is the secure hash algorithm and the hash functions. So one is used for creating the crypto that is the public address, and the other one is used the other one is used for hashing mechanism. So creating a public address and private key, and then the other one is used for hashing. So we'll be able to see, yeah, how cryptography really helps in the types of cryptography methods or techniques that we have, because we do have asymmetric cryptography and we have asymmetric cryptography. So public key cryptography, that is, yeah. So I don't know if that was I've answered. I don't know if I have answered what you have asked there. Hello? Hello? Okay, we can continue then. So we have the first the first hash. So the hash of the previous hash that generally starts from 00. And then we have the hash of the previous block, the hash of the previous block here. So here we have the hash of the previous block. So this is the hash of the block number 1. So generally when a blockchain starts, it starts from Genesis, a Genesis address, and a Genesis address is it doesn't have a private key. Nobody has the access for the Genesis block or the Genesis address. Yeah, so this is the 00 is the Genesis. It's actually written in 00s. And then we have the hash of this block now, block 1. And then we have the block 2, which has this hash, the new hash. This one, the new hash, and then it will be embedded into the block number 3, and so on and so on. So they will be chained together. They will be chained together. So if you try to delete this block, or if you try to invalidate this block, all these other records will change. Let's do something like add data chain. And then we do the mining, we validate or we process this information. So we basically what we are doing, we are generating a new hash and a new hash. We are generating a new hash when we are doing the mining. Yeah, so we have generated a new hash, and as you can see, we will need to mine for the rest of these other records so that they become valid blocks. So we have invalidated all these other blocks, and we need to mine all of them. So if you're a malicious person who wants to do or to corrupt the blockchain, it will be impossible for you, because you will have to go validating all that data which has been linked all together. So if we validate this one, or we add this new hash, so we have created a new hash here, and then as from our definition that blockchain is a connection of hashes or a linking of the hashes, we will have to mine this one so that we validate this one. So if we validate, we'll have to do all these other blocks, which is really a lot of work. So this is what makes it blockchain immutable because of the hash function. So I've actually, so we have validated and we have added the hash. So we also need to add this hash there and so on and so on. I think you generally get the concept of how blocks are linked together. So if we try to invalidate any of these, sometimes if you're a big fan of the Marvel or the Loki series, you will be able to see the multiverse as in form of the blockchain. So if Loki went to this multiverse, if these branches are invalidated, it has to be cut, and then we follow one single blockchain. So you will be able to see, if we change the block number 3, then it means we are creating another new blockchain. We are kind of creating another timeline for that. So that's it on the blockchain, on how it works and how it is linked together. So let's go back to our presentation. That was So that was on how blockchain are linked together, and so we have also tackled on the immutability, like what is immutability and how can you define blockchain immutability in blockchain. So immutability can be defined as the ability of a blockchain ledger to remain unchanged. For a blockchain to remain unaltered and indeletable, it has to be more concise data in the blockchain cannot be altered. Each block of information, such as facts or transaction details, processed using a cryptographic principle or a hash value. So the hash value consists of alphanumeric strings generated by each block separately. So every block not only contains a hash or a digital signature for itself, but also for the previous one. So basically immutability, or what we have just seen, it's immutability and also the hash of the previous block. They are interconnected. So if you delete one block, it means that you will have to delete all the other blocks. So let's go back to the example that I had given about procurement entities and also banking systems. So for banking system, it's really easy for them to delete all those records because the records are not interconnected with the transaction that you do are not linked together. They are not linked together. So if a transaction goes missing, there is no way that you can be able to prove that this transaction existed. It will only exist on the end user, the person who knows that the transaction existed. But when it comes to blockchain, since all those transactions are linked together, if you try to delete a transaction that happened yesterday and you delete it today, you will have to delete all the other blocks. It becomes invalid. So that's how immutability is achieved. It's through the cryptographic hash, which is the reason why it's become immune. So the main advantage of the hash is that it cannot be reverse engineered. So for you to change that information or to change that data once it has been littered in the blockchain, you will have to have quantum computing to do that, which currently right now it's not available. It's only available in institutions such as Google and research institutions. And yeah, but soon people will be able to purchase the quantum computing. But then at that time, there will be what we call quantum cryptography. So quantum cryptography is what blockchain will be using in the future once yeah, integrating such new technologies that will protect the blockchain. So yeah, so secure hash 256, other hash functions like MD5, they are easily reverse engineered, and they don't serve a good purpose for being used in blockchain. That's why most of the e-commerce is built on PHP and SQL are vulnerable to hacks, because they generally, or they normally use MD5 and weak cryptographic mechanisms. Yeah. So this is just a pictorial representation of how the secure hash algorithm works. So you write your word, and then this is the data of the output of this word. So blockchain is disruptive. When it is encrypted, it turns to the secure hash 256, of which you cannot reverse engineer this. Yeah. So we have the next thing is that, yes, people talk about blockchain being a solution for everything. Currently, we have seen a lot of people or a lot of startups saying that they are creating a blockchain solution, they are doing this, but there is challenges to blockchain immutability or immutability of data. And one is the 51% attack. So there are a number of challenges for this mechanism, especially if you are using proof of stake, not stake, but proof of work, you are vulnerable to 51% attack. So this is whereby like a majority of the node, like they gain 50% of computing power, and they reverse or they change all the rules that have been set by the community. So there have been suggestions on how to actually mitigate this problem or this challenge. It's by moving to proof of stake. So in proof of stake, there are different types of proof of stake. There is proof of delegated proof of stake. There is poor proof of stake. And yeah, we will be able to see also the different types of proof of stakes. So then we have quantum computing. So quantum computing is our biggest challenge in the space, which is threatening blockchain. So quantum computing has actually, the guys at IBM and Google have been able to reverse engineer the secure hash 256. They were able to reverse engineer the public key of the blockchain network, which can find the private key to break the system. This is no doubt in saying that there is no doubt in saying that this is a real and credible threat in the space, which is capable of affecting almost 50% of blockchains. So what is happening right now, researchers are looking for ways they can be able to integrate quantum computing. So when it comes to quantum computing has a state whereby that it doesn't really, when you are almost there to, you are almost about to crack or to break the password changes itself. So it's a really interesting case. You can do more research on quantum computing and quantum cryptography and how it can be used to protect data. Yeah. So yeah, those are the solutions. I've actually talked about the solution. Yeah. So is there any question up to now? Hello? Hello? Hello?
We are with you. We are with you.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. If there is no question, then we can move on. So this is what I was talking about, the block header and the block body. So the block body contains the data. Yeah. So the blockchain, so the block is a chain of data blocks, like we have seen, and they are connected together. We have the block header that has the version number of the software, the hash of the previous block, and the root hash of the Merkle tree. So the root hash of the Merkle tree. Then we have the time in seconds since 1970, the goal of the current difficulty, and the nouns. Yeah. So the goal of the current difficulty and the nouns. Yeah. Then we have the block body. So the block body contains all transactions that are confirmed with the block. So when a miner constructs a block, it validates the transaction, and he checks that the sender actually has enough money to spend. So he can easily read this information from the blockchain. The miner looks in the past blocks to see if the sender has even gotten the 10 Bitcoins he wants to send. So basically what miners do, they check to see, it's automated, the process is automated, and they check whether you have enough money to send, and they go way back to your history to see whether you actually have those Bitcoins. And when it comes to transactions, it's really important to check whether somebody even has enough money to pay you. So for example, if if I want to the possible application area for example for blockchain could be when you want to be employed. You have to go back to the employer's details and see whether this company is even capable to be paying me a certain amount of money. So it will really create openness on the how company does its transactions. And also when it comes to the person who is being employed, if they go back to your school records and see that indeed this guy attended the university that he claims that he was in. So that is on academic records. Then we have, so I hope we are together. Hello?
We are together. We are with where? I'm with you.
Okay. Seems
We can hear you.
Yeah. So yeah, want us to please do a lot of this. This will be a little bit self-explanatory. So why would we want to have blockchain? Why would we want blockchain? And why would we choose blockchain? Of course, we have seen the properties of it. It eliminates the middleman. It creates traceability, easy traceability of transaction and also records. Yeah. So the reason why will be on the use case, like where can we use and why is blockchain really important for banking. So I've seen we have different people from different backgrounds. We have Wangari, who is from we have Wangari, who is from the department. criminology. Yeah. Hello, Wangari.
Yes, yes,
You did criminology. So blockchain would
yes.
really be helpful in that area of the career path you have. Yeah. So there is a question here being asked by Martin, and he is asking, M-Pesa does not use blockchain, but I think it somehow verifies proof of ownership, though manually. Yeah, it doesn't have any protocol, but it verifies. It kind of works the same, but yeah, sometimes I do believe that if M-Pesa really wanted to move, so sometimes I do tend to think that if M-Pesa really wanted to change their course, which is actually in the near future, because last month I attended a seminar where the Communication Authority of Kenya were learning about blockchain security and how they can, as regulator, how can they regulate blockchain in Kenya? Because soon, since Safaricom is their biggest licensee, they really wanted to know how they can regulate blockchain before things really turn bad on their way. So I believe it's something which Safaricom or M-Pesa are also thinking of doing, because very soon, and they might move into the space. Yeah. So yeah, it does that. Yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah. So it's really important to know where we can be able to apply blockchain, especially in banking and finance, and also in these major sectors, that is in banking and finance, healthcare. Yeah. So in healthcare, in banking, it would be really necessary for blockchain to be used as examples are Bitcoin and Ethereum or ETH, that by establishing a decentralized ledger for payment, so you are able to track that on such a particular day, I was able to pay Martin this kind of money. And also in clearance and settlement systems, in trade finance, in securities, we have different projects like Polymath, which are in securities. And then we have customer KYC and fraud prevention. So knowing your customer is a big deal, because you really need to know your customer. And in fraud prevention, yeah, loans and credit, by removing the need of gatekeepers in the loan and credit industry, you can be able to borrow a certain amount of money. So yeah, let me give an example of not an example of something actually that happened last month, beginning of last month. So there is this tool called Chainalysis, and Chainalysis does tracking of funds, how funds or Bitcoins were being sent, how Ethereum were being sent. And in this slide, there is a charity organization that created a fundraising. And it's through that fundraising that terrorists were funding people through Bitcoin. But those Bitcoins were, the intention of the Bitcoins were to fund terrorism activities through a charity organization. So what Chainalysis did was able to to track the transaction, the origin of transaction, and the Israel government was able to seize or to have control of those wallets, and they were able to arrest the owners of those wallet address. They were able to track and know the origin of these Bitcoins. So in such then we have in health sector. So in health, it will really help in research. It is very faster and cheaper and better patient care. So imagine if I may, I don't know if there is somebody who has his health records from when they were a kid. Don't know if there is anybody, all the medical checkups that you have gone to, you really have records for those checkups?
No, but I actually did health records in campus, so I really understand how much help it can bring to the healthcare sector.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, that is what blockchain is doing in research, where people can be able to share data, especially in these times when we are having a pandemic. Data sharing or in-time data sharing or real-time data sharing of such records. You are able to share this data with a lot of doctors in the world, and you are able to come up with solutions. Then in terms of patient, you don't really need a lot of card patient when you're an outpatient patient. They create a new record or a new card for you. Then when you go back to the hospital, they create another new card for another illness. Yeah. Then it will also reduce in misdiagnosis, because if you have all your patient records, all your records have been stored in one decentralized area, then when you're going to India for treatment, or when you're going to US for treatment, they will be able to see, like, you started developing these kind of symptoms early enough in this particular day, and then there was misdiagnosis through a particular doctor. Yeah. And I know here in Kenya, we have had somebody, a familiar, very popular person who was misdiagnosed, and he was being treated for another disease. So yeah, so we have I have outlined some things, like by avoiding miscommunication between different healthcare personnel involved in caring for the same patient. So we have such scenarios where the patient is being treated by different doctors for different, maybe you have a broken limb, and then you also are suffering from cancer. So you will have different doctors for that. Yeah. And then we have innumerable mistakes can be prevented, faster diagnosis and intervention become possible, and care can be personalized to each patient. So different patients have this different illness, and they have different symptoms, and they have different things. Yeah. Then on traceability and tracing and securing medical supplies. So this one is really interesting. And it's really interesting because that's what the UK government used. They used AI, that is IOTA, and blockchain. I don't remember the name of the company, but it was this year. That's why they were able to actually immunize a lot of people in their country, and the world was back into the world, or they were able to open up the world, their country very fast. So what they did was they were tracing the vaccines. Once they have been produced by Oxford, they were tracking they were tracking those vaccines in batch numbers, in the batch numbers, and then storing it in a cool facility, because the vaccines really need to be stored in a cool facility. So they would measure the temperature using IOTA and sending it the real data into, and feeding that data into the blockchain. And also in terms of tracing whether those vaccines actually reached their destination. So you can take a look at more companies which are doing that. Then health insurance claims. This is for insurance companies. And then we have tracking diseases and outbreak in real time. So the unique capability of blockchain can help real-time disease reporting and exploration of disease pattern that can help identify its origin and transmission parameters. So the funny thing, most people don't really understand that the reason why people were able to say that to predict the patterns of the disease, it's because of these new technologies. South Africa was capable enough to predict the number of patients, the Delta variant for COVID. India was able to do that very fast. Other countries like Australia, and they were able to even put measures like lockdown, because they were able to predict and see the patterns of the disease or how it's spreading. So it's through these technologies. So that's why it's really important in those sectors. And also, lastly, why is blockchain important in supply chain? This is on letters of credit. We have proof of delivery. So we have people who deliver air here in Kenya. We have people who, I think it's everywhere that corruption and people deliver nothing. So then we have in food supply chain. So in food supply chain, IBM and Walmart and the Food Trust Network with Hyperledger, they created an initiative that involves like 80 companies that is working on food supply chain. And from what we have, I don't know whether it's rumors or it's true, the pandemics came from eating bad food. So, and most of the food that we eat are actually the cause of our illness. So if we are able to track how the food was processed and how it was packaged from all the way from the farmer to the consumer. And also in countries like Kenya, Nigeria, where cocoa is produced, and also here in Kenya where coffee is produced, and places where diamond is produced, they do have problems when it comes to the person who is mining or farming coffee. So there is a company here in Kenya that is doing something in coffee with coffee farmers. So once the coffee is packaged, the coffee is using blockchain. So when you pay for that coffee, when you are in the States or in the coffee is exported outside the country, once you pay for that coffee, a certain percentage of that coffee goes back to the farmer, this encouraging the farmer to actually produce more. And then it also removes the middleman involved in the coffee distribution. I'm seeing this also being applicable for the avocado farmers here in Africa. That is in Tanzania, in Kenya, and even Mexico. Mexico right now, they are the largest exporters of avocados. So funny, that is a story. Funny thing, the cartels moved from selling drugs to selling water and selling avocados. Yeah, it's a funny story. Yeah. Then we have the container shipping company, that is Maersk and Port of Rotterdam. They are bringing transparency into global trade. Yeah, so we all know Maersk, and it's the world's largest container company. Yeah. Then we have in blockchain and music and art. Yeah. So reduction of intermediaries and guarantee of intellectual property, and also improved traceability of creative content. Yeah, so these are actually business opportunities. If you are a programmer and you are able to create such solutions, there is a lot of programs or there is a lot of business opportunities in these fields. Yeah, because most people tend to focus more on crypto trading rather than on development, and development is what really has a lot of yeah, income. So lastly, we'll look at the why blockchain is very important in education. So this one, it helps in the verification of student records and accreditation. So like there are people who apply for jobs and they say that they have degrees and certificates or diploma, but there is no way that the employer can be able to verify that this particular person went to that university or they really hold that certificate, especially for doctors. So they need to be verified that they have genuine academic papers. So you can create such on the blockchain. Then yeah, this will in turn reduce the case of fraud in education, where many document cases where job applicants have used fake academic papers. So yeah, and then decentralizing online learning. So you are able to study from where you are in the world. Then there is also protection from copyright and digital right violation. So in the world of academic, plagiarism is a major problem. Learning institutions struggle to combat when students copy digital content when coming up with a term, paper, and research proposal. So we don't want to do what, but we have all violated the digital rights. Yeah, we have all copied at one point. We have copied something on the blockchain and presented it to our lecturers and professors. Yeah. Then creating better learning platforms. So like the platforms that I shared with you, we have Decade, we have Crypto University from South Africa, we have Figment.io. Those are learning. We have Gitcoin. Those are learning platforms that incentivize teachers and students. So content creators are incentivized to create content, and students are incentivized when they do learning. Yeah, so that's the kind of environment that we are looking for. Yeah. So that's it on the why of the blockchain, why blockchain is important. And yeah, so then the next thing that I will like us to do is this few assignment. I normally like to give simple assignments that you can be able to do. So I've actually mentioned lots of things that you can pick up from for question 1. So like identify and write a blog about a pain point in your society and come up with an idea that you can use for blockchain. So yeah, I know Wangari will create something on traceability of or the way criminal behaves, something like that. Yeah, I know Ambrose will come up with something in health. No, that was Martin. Yeah. And then you identify how some of these ideas can be implemented using blockchain. So yeah. Then tomorrow I'll do, sorry, that is not meant for that. So tomorrow, I'll do we'll do a simple coding session for those who are participating in hackathon. Yeah, I believe Coril and Ambrose are participating, but we'll do I'll do a demo for that on Zero. Yeah. Yeah, so in case there is any question, any suggestions or any observation, just, yeah. Yeah, so this is the right time for a discussion, and yeah. Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, so I'll ask a question. If you don't ask a question. So I'll ask Iram. Yeah.
Yes.
We have talked about blockchain being immutable. So how do we achieve the immutability? Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't get it. Can you repeat it, that?
Yeah, we have talked about blockchain being immutable.
Blockchain.
Yeah, being immutable. So how is immutability achieved?
I didn't have answers.
Okay. Yeah, so yeah, blockchain immutability is achieved through the hash function and yeah, encryption of data. Yeah. So any question or yeah, any, yeah, I'll ask you to unmute so that you can speak. Hello. Yeah, Martin.
Hello, I was asking, NFT has been on the rise.
Yeah.
Type of blockchain is it? Is it private or something?
No, NFT is a type of cryptocurrency. That is, we have different cryptocurrency. We have ERC20 tokens and we have non-fungible tokens. So NFT is actually, the full name for NFT is non-fungible tokens. So they are built on under the different platforms. So Zero do have Zero is a fork of Ethereum, so you can be able to create NFTs on the Zero platforms. Also, you can be able to create ERC20 tokens on the Zero platform. Yeah. So we'll be able to see the different types of tokens on a later topic. I think that will be tomorrow. Yeah, that will be tomorrow because we have covered this in yeah. I wanted us to do the intro session, and then so that we can be able to dive into because I believe there are people who who are getting to learn blockchain for the first time. That's why we have started on the intro, and then once we do that, we will be able to get into, yeah. So maybe we can go, yeah, asking yeah. So is there any other question? I hope that one I have answered your question, Martin.
Yes.
Okay. Is there any other question, observation, comment? Yeah, I do like people who talk because in that way we are able to move together. Hello.
Bye.
Yeah. Patrice. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You do you have a question?
No, I don't.
Okay. So you can identify and write a blog about a pain point in your society and come up with an idea that can be used. Yeah. So the point of this is actually to prepare you for opportunities on Zero blockchain. So Zero do have what we call Zero Bootcamp. So Zero Bootcamp is a way that you can be able to your idea can be accelerated, and you can find mentors to mentor you on creating a solution, and also a way that you can be able to get funding for your project if your project is already existing. And then you can also have access to funding, grant, and stuff like that. Yeah, and then you will have an opportunity to build on one of the fastest growing blockchain. Yeah. So any question, Coril?
No question for me.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so let's think, I don't know, it's almost 6:30. So if there is no question, I'll share the slides. I'll share the slides with you. Yeah, it's 6:30. I'll share the slides with you on the Google Docs. Yeah. So I've shared the others on the same platform. The first one for the videos, I'm still looking for a way that I can be able to share with you, because all the platforms that I have are full. Yeah. So in case there is no other question, I'll just say bye, and have a good day or good night whenever you are. Yeah.
Good night.
Good day.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow.
All right, same time.